Hi friends, today we're going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Neural Control and Coordination. Today in this video, let's cover part 4. So let's begin with the first question, which was asked in the year 2013. Parts A, B, C and D of human eye are shown in the diagram. Select the option which gives the correct identification along with its functions and characteristics. So you have A, B, C, D marked there. You need to identify them. Okay, so here let's come to A. A is retina. Okay, A is correct actually. A is retina, contains photoreceptors, rods and cones. Therefore the right answer to this question is option B. Next question here. Which part of the human ear plays no role in hearing as such, but it is otherwise very much required? Before we go into the solution, it is very important to know few things about the human ear. Okay, we all use it as a tool for hearing, and that is one of the sensory organs that we are bestowed with, right? Fine. As we all know, the ear is an advanced and very sensitive organ of the human body. The ear's function is to transmit and transduce the sound to the brain through the parts of the ear. So when we talk about here, we have outer, middle and inner ear. The major task of the ear is to detect, transmit and transduce sound. So we have, as we already said, we have the middle, outer and inner. The sound waves cause the eardrum to vibrate, which sets the three tiny bones in the middle ear into motion. The motion of the bone causes the fluid in the inner ear to move. The movement of the inner ear fluid causes the hairs in the inner ear to bend. So this is the mode, the action of what happens when we exactly hear sound. So here, coming back to the question, that is one region, that is one thing that is responsible for the balance of your body, and it is not responsible for hearing. I think all of you know what the answer is, because we already saw in the earlier parts of this chapter. Yes, it is vestibular apparatus. This is associated with the balance and body posture. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option C. Next question here. The purplish red pigment rhodopsin contained in the rods type of photoreceptor cells of human eye is a derivative of dash. So rhodopsin is contained in the rod type of photoreceptor cells of the human eye, and that is a derivative of vitamin B1. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option A. So what is the other name for, because we all have scientific names, right? So what do you mean by the vitamin B1? See, vitamin B1 is also called as thiamine, or B1 is a vitamin found in food and manufactured as a dietary supplement and medication. Food resources which include this as B1 as a major resource is whole grains, legumes, some meat and fish. So here, if you can ask me any other question, the formula for B1 is C12H17N4OS+. Okay, and this has other names like vitamin B1, anurin, thiamine, other some names that are given for it, and this is soluble in water, glycerol and methanol. Okay, next question here. Alzheimer's disease in humans is associated with the deficiency of dash. Very easy question to answer. Any idea what the answer is? Alzheimer's disease? Alzheimer's disease in humans is associated with the deficiency of acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter produced by the nerves to refer to as the cholinergic nerves, okay, or you can say neurons. Acetylcholine plays a role in the skeletal muscle movement as well as in the regulation of smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Acetylcholine is synthesized from the choline and the acetyl coenzyme. When you go through the action of this particular enzyme, okay, the enzyme choline acetyl transferase, and becomes packaged into the membrane bound vesicles. So Alzheimer's disease in humans is associated with the deficiency of acetylcholine. Next question here. Given below is a diagrammatic cross section of the single loop of human cochlea. So cochlea is nothing but, the other name of that is inner ear. Okay, so don't get confused. So which one of the following options correctly represents the name of the three parts? And the right answer is D. A is, here you have the answer. A is supposed to be perilymph, B is tectorial membrane, and D is endolymph. Okay, so A is perilymph, then you have B with the tectorial membrane, and C is the endolymph. So these are correctly matched, therefore the right answer to this question is option D. Next question here. Which one of the following is the correct difference between between the rod cells and the cone cells of our retina? Okay, so we need to identify. So look at the first one, visual acuity, rod cells are high and cone cells are low. Okay, look at second option, visual pigment contained will be idops, then you have in rhodopsin. Overall function, vision in poor light, color vision and detailed vision in bright light. So this is the right answer. Okay, which one of the following is the correct difference between the rod cells and the cone cells? So overall function, okay, the rod cells will be vision in poor light, and the color vision and the detailed vision of bright light will be associated with cone cells. Therefore the right answer is option C. Okay. Okay, now let's move to the next question here. Cornea transplant in humans is almost never rejected. This is because of dash. So you have to analyze the statements here. Look at option A. Its cells are least penetrable by bacteria. No, it has no blood supply. So when we talk about the cornea transplant in humans, it is almost never rejected because it has no blood supply. Cornea is a transparent layer of a tissue continuous with sclerotic that forms the front part of the vertebrate eye over the iris and the lens. So anything that you want to know more about this cornea is, so as we all know, the cornea is a clear front surface of the eye. It lies directly in front of the iris and the pupil, and it allows light to enter the eye. Okay, and to more explain about this, the cornea with the anterior chamber and lens refracts light with cornea accounting for approximately 2/3 of the eye's total optical power. Okay, so you can ask me what is the function of this cornea. As we all know, the cornea's main function is to refract or bend light. What is the main function of it? It is to refract or bend light. Okay, therefore the right answer to this question is option B. Next question here. What is the intensity of the sound in normal conversation? This is a very easy question. The answer to this question is option B, 30 to 60 decibels. So just a diagram to show you the frequency of the wavelength. You know, when it is a normal talking or normal chirping of the bird, you can see how the waves move in, and when the bird seems to scream or yell, the waves kind of show high frequency. But during the normal conversation, the intensity of the sound is 30 to 60 decibels. Next question here. When we migrate, from dark to light, we fail to see for some time, but after a time visibility, it becomes normal. It is an example of dash. Okay, so what do you think will be the answer here? It takes some time for the rhodopsin to split into. So if you clearly see here, it will split into scotopsin and retinal and release the transmitter passing the nerve impulse via the bipolar and the ganglion cells to the optic nerves. So this case, you actually call it as adaptation, because this situation is everybody faces. It's not just you and me. You happen to be in the light, and suddenly when you move into the dark, it takes a lot of time. It takes a little time for you to adapt to that darkness, and after that, visible things, things will become visible, right? Not exactly highly visible, but to some extent you can survive in that dark. It's not that it will not be that dark for you. So that case is actually called as adaptation. It differs from the accommodation, which is a reflex mechanism by which the focus of the eye change to make the images of the distant and the near objects sharp on the retina. So that little time which it takes to adapt itself, and that process is called as adaptation. Okay, next question here. Characteristic feature of the human cornea, and this question was asked in the year 2001. So when we talk about this cornea, as we already discussed, this is a transparent layer of your eye. The outermost layer of the eyeball is fibrous in nature. 2/3 part of this layer, okay, is opaque and lies inside the eye orbit and is known as sclera. The remaining 1/3 of the outer layer is transparent and bulges out to form cornea. And here, if you see, you will not have any supply of blood. Okay, so the characteristic feature of human cornea is the blood circulation is absent in cornea. A very important point to be noted. Okay, next question here. Suspensory ligament is a part of dash. So what do you mean by suspensory ligament? Okay, suspensory ligament of lens, a series of fibers that connect the ciliary body of the eye with the lens, holding it in place. Okay, the suspensory, or you can say suspensory ligament, it is actually connected, or it is a part of eye. Okay, therefore the right answer is option B. And stretching and relaxation of suspensory ligament changes the focal length of the lens, okay, for accommodation. So what does it do? It will change the focal length of the lens for accommodation. Next question here. Cornea transplantation. Okay, cornea transplantation is outstandingly successful because of dash. See, cornea transplantation is very easy, and we already saw what the answer is. Because it does not have any blood circulation in it, it is easy to store. Okay, so cornea is not linked up with blood, vascular and immune systems. That is why it is not difficult to carry out cornea transplantations. You don't have blood circulation at all there. There's no blood supply or circulation. Therefore, the right answer is option B. Next question here. Function of the iris is to dash, and this question was asked in the year 1993. So if you continuously look at the part 4, it's continuously questions or repeated questions of the eye, human eye. So kindly go through human eye very thoroughly. It kind of help you. So iris controls the size of the pupil by contracting and relaxing it to its circular muscles. It controls the amount of light entering in the eye. So what is the main function of this? It expands and relaxes, right? So it alters the size of the pupil is the right answer, which is option D. Next question here. Retina is most sensitive at dash. Okay, retina. What you have to talk about retina? As we all know, the retina is a thin layer of tissue that lines the back of the eye on the inside. It is located near the optic nerve. The purpose of the retina is to receive light that the lens has focused, convert the light into neural signals, and can send signals onto the brain for visual recognition. Okay, so retina is the most sensitive at fovea centralis. Fovea centralis is the most sensitive part of the retina. This is the area of the most acute vision. Actually, it is a small depression present in mammals at macula lutea or yellow spot. Okay, therefore the right answer to this question is option D. With this, we complete the part 4 of neural control and coordination. Hope to meet you in the part 5 in the next video. Thank you for watching.